So I've been out in my garden lately quite a bit. There's a lot of stuff that I'm doing, but I just kind of want to show you one or two beds maybe on some of the things that I'm doing right now. It is the end of July. We're about to be going into August next week. So peak summer, really hot, really sweaty. Let's get into it. Okay, so what is up everybody? How are you guys doing? Thanks for checking out this video. Any support for the channel is awesome. This is a bed that I had carrots in before. I pulled a few of them a couple weeks ago. I know I still need a little bit of time with that. So the time came yesterday. Got them all pulled out. This is a fresh bed. I don't know about fresh, but there's nothing in it at the moment except for this, which I stuck in the dirt, if you can even see it. Maybe not, it might be just off of camera, but it's a crookneck squash. So, I believe that might be a zucchini, not positive. I didn't label that one, I might not even plant it. Yes, crookneck squash, so that'll be going in. And I actually can't put these in yet because I got other plans, but I put that one in the ground. I'm like, yes, I need to take care of this soil. The main thing that I've been noticing is a lot of blossom end rot. So it's going to be a lack of potash, I believe, or potassium. So I actually have some potassium here with me, so I'm going to amend that. I'm also going to put some phosphate, potash in it. The vigor, the strength of the plants has been pretty good. I'm looking at my amaranth and sunflowers right now. They're good. My San Marzanos were just like pumped up on steroids. Everything's been pretty good with that, so I'm not going to put too much in because the soil has it. Now this is brand new soil as of this year. I got 7 yards. Whew. Sweat in the eye. Yeah, it's not even so much it's hot, it's just really humid. So yeah, a little rag kind of helps to get some of the sweat off your face, but yeah, I got it. I didn't really test it. So what this is 50% cow manure, 50% topsoil. Sieved a little bit. I think it's sieved down to 3/4 of an inch. So there are some rocks and stuff. Got a couple rocks about yay size. Not really that big. That's actually dirt. I don't have any rocks to pick out of here. A couple small ones. Sometimes I pick them out, sometimes I leave them. But I noticed a couple things with the soil. One, it's got a lot of nitrogen. Yeah, I fertilized fairly heavy with nitrogen when I planted everything in the beginning of the season. And it was way overboard. The 50% manure is a lot of nitrogen. So I'm not gonna worry about nitrogen at all. There's plenty to spare. So I'm not gonna worry about that. But I had the carrots in here before, just pulled them all out yesterday. Over on the far side, I have all the carrot tops I'm going to use as mulch when I'm done with all this. So I still have the cup for this one. I am going to pull this one out of the dirt. I just barely got it in there and realized, okay, I got to get some stuff done. So, okay, that one will be okay. And now I have nothing in here. There's a little bit of that stuff, but I'm going to go ahead and get my carrot tops out first. And this is going to give me a good pellet to work with here. So I have noticed you're not really going to be able to see it on here, but right in this area here is pretty dang hard. It does have some clay. Now, if you look at it, you're probably not going to be able to see stuff too good on here, but it's pretty loose. This was the hard area. So here's a giant clump, hard. You know, it's crumbling apart. It's not bad. And it holds it together just barely. So that is fairly good, but I am going to amend that to make it a little bit more well draining, and that's going to be with cocoa coir. Now this mix, let's get it up. There we go. So yeah, this mix, I did 2 bricks of cocoa coir, about a quart of perlite, and got that all mixed together. The perlite's going to help with water retention, And I think I just need this a little bit more draining. I know I have clay in here. I planted my Brussels sprouts in the beginning of the year, and they didn't really grow, but when they started to grow, they did not shoot the taproot down. They shot it up because it was too hard to go down. So I know just with that, I have to loosen up my soil a little bit. So I'm going to be doing this cocoa core and perlite mix. I'm going to amend it. I don't know how much I'm going to use. I'd like to do about 5 inches or so mixed in. But I'm not sure. This is all kind of new territory for me. So with that, I am going to put in my phosphate. I'm going to put in my phosphate here, easy peasy brand, all chemicals. I don't care, it works. It's good. I see a lot of people using it online, a lot of these different channels and stuff. They use it. If you're trying to go for the full hippie effect, yeah, find some honey, cayenne pepper, and cockroach poop. That's going to give you all the good stuff that you need. I know I rip on it a little bit, but I am not in this to go down that road. I'm not trying to be perfectly internet correct. You know, I just want my stuff to grow. I don't care. I mean, no, I'm not going to be pouring motor oil down in my gardens, but a little bit of this is not going to be that bad. Whoa, whoa, whoa. As I spill it, because I set my bucket down on this, so let me get these out of the way. So with that, I also have some worm castings. I'm going to go ahead and re-amend the soil with worm castings up on the surface, and I'll throw a little bit down when I plant. But as of right now, since I just dumped it, I'm going to go ahead and throw some of the cocoa core in here. Right now I'm going to do about half, which is going to be a brick and 2 cups. So just spread this out a little bit, spread it out a lot, spread it out as much as possible. How about that? All right, so that is a nice layer on top. It's looking pretty good too. So I'm going to go ahead and get my old claw and just start working all this stuff in. Get it down about 4, 5, 6 inches or so. And just make that first part of the plant's life good. Oh, I forgot something. Let's go ahead and get some worm castings. It's going to help with the organic part of it. I don't have compost. I would be putting compost on top here, but I think with the combination of cocoa core and the worm castings, it's pretty much the same without all the chunks of wood. Now, when I've been baking my seed starting mix, hang on, can't see. Brutal. Yeah, so when I was making my seed starting mix, the byproduct of that is basically rough, coarse compost. But it's all big branches and stuff that's going to take a little longer to break down. It's not composted, it's compost. So I didn't use that. I have that sitting in my garage. It's about a half a gallon or a gallon worth of wood chips and stuff like that. It's probably going to be a better mulch than it is going to be an amendment for biodiversity inside your garden. So I'm going to need a little finer, a little more broken down compost to do that. The beginning of next season, I am going to amend with a bit of compost, and that's going to help loosen the soil up even more. And it's going to give a lot of nutrients and start that whole microbacterial game going on. So I'm not doing that right now just because I'm planting a fall garden. So yeah, that'll be later. So no compost for now. Funny as I'm going through this, I'm finding carrots. This is the second carrot I found. The other one's over on the other side closer to you, but yeah, still pulling out carrots. Kind of funny. I wasn't really able to get down that far when I was picking them without really digging or anything like that, so I didn't get them all when I first came for them. Oh. Another chunk of carrot. All right, a lot of these chunks I'm leaving, they hold water pretty well, but the big ones I'm breaking up a little bit, you know, like a golf ball size. I'm just gonna break it in half, toss it back in, it should be good. So I'm gonna even this out, and at the same time, I gotta say with these raised beds, these ribs that are on the side hold a lot of open area. If you've used these before, you know once you put soil in it, you're gonna have a gap of air around the outside. The sweat, it burns. And wiping your eyes while you're doing gardening, it's not always the best idea, but hey, it's hot. All right, so anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and level this out again. Oh, what I was saying is with those gaps, pretty much anytime I get my hands in the soil like this, I'm pushing down on the edges. Try to work that soil down in these ribs. I'm not gonna be able to get all the way to the bottom, I know. You can come in and hit it, get a rubber mallet, try not to dent it if you care about the looks of it, but try to tap some of that dirt down in these ribs, and it's just gonna standardize the level of your soil a little bit better. Predictability is a great thing when it comes to gardening, so. All right, so yeah, that's looking really good actually. I could probably do some more all right, well, so my camera overheated. As soon as I started into all of that, camera shut down in the middle of a sentence, and it was gonna take a long time to continue that. So I just went ahead and finished up what I was doing. The first bed I amended with the cocoa core and earthworm, or the worm castings, just in a hole, amending the whole bed. The second one, I just put castings inside where I potted the plants. It was other squash, and did not use cocoa core. I'm getting kind of low on cocoa core. I'm gonna have to buy some more. Really, I want to have everything amended for next year. I'm not worried that much about it right now because things are growing pretty good. But yes, very hot, and the young plants that I just planted in there yesterday, this is actually the next day, are suffering a little bit. And what I did is I went ahead and put up some wood to shade the plants a little bit. Some spare things that I made that was going to be the perimeter of my ground garden. I have a whole bunch of these left over. Been trying to think of something to do with it, and yeah, it fits pretty good between the pots, the bags, and it works in the raised beds as well. So one thing I also wanted to do, just to kind of get an update, is, well, soil testing. It still got me right there. There you go. These soil testers. So this one is going to be my potash. It's saying I am extremely low on potash. Again, that was the raw soil. It's topsoil, manure 50-50. So my nitrogen is right here. Pretty much the darker the higher the nitrogen. So as you can see, extremely dark, extremely high nitrogen because of the cow manure. So nitrogen I don't have to worry about. I haven't fertilized with nitrogen since I first planted. So I'll end up pulling a lot of that nitrogen out of there. The other one was supposed to be blue, but I'd swear that's green, right? Yeah, I mean, I'm looking on the camera right now and it's pretty green. So the green was the pH level, but it was a blue capsule. Let me show you. These things disintegrated over time, so I'm gonna have to order more, but it's been about 3 years of sitting outside, not in the weather, but yeah, these little capsules are like Tylenol capsules that you crack inside the tube to get the test gone. But if you can see, it's kind of green, it's kind of blue, it's kind of a turquoise, but I don't have the other color. I don't have the green, or if this is green, I don't have the blue, so I don't have anything to compare it to find out which one might be which. But going off of this, that is definitely green. Like this one is orange right here, even in color, so it's the type of capsule so you can kind of use the chart. And this is the chart that I'm using here. here, here, and here. So, and the top ones up here is just for the pH. So on that, I would say the pH is just about max. That's a 7.5. If this is the pH, I'll do other tests to make sure that I'm actually doing the right thing here. But as far as this purple one just looks like root beer. So purple, that's extremely high nitrogen if that's what it is. Potash, very, very low, so I can add some more potash in. I have it out there right now. So amending the soil, learning it, figuring out what I need to do to grow a successful garden. And little by little. So just because I have it here, the next thing that I'm going to be planting is going to be the end of July into August is going to be broccoli rabe and broccoli. I believe this is that fluorescent green stuff that you get in the store. But yeah, I was going to junk this video after my camera overheated, but I wanted to go ahead and just continue it on. I wasn't feeling it yesterday. And actually, a funny note, well, not so funny. I had a heat stroke when I was in junior high, and yesterday when I was out there doing that, I started feeling all those symptoms coming on. I started getting nauseous, sweating like crazy. I think my sweat started slowing down a little bit. I wasn't really dehydrated though, but a headache after the fact, after I started cooling down, and dizziness, that whole work. So really started getting to me. I had to call it a day, come inside to stay cool for a little bit. And even right now, if you can see, I am dripping with friggin' sweat, you know. So yes, another hot day. We're supposed to have a little bit of rain today, rain tomorrow, and it's going to cool down for a couple days and then heat back up. So yay, summertime, right? All right, so I got my soil tested. I know what I'm working with. I know how to start amending it, and it's going to happen over time. I do need to get some more biomass in there and more organic matter. Probably going to do compost like I was talking before. The cocoa core is going to definitely help loosen it up. So next year, I think I'm going to get many bricks of cocoa core and amend the soil with the cocoa core and maybe a little bit of sand. Forgot to mention that before, the first bed that I just did and amended it all, there was sand in there as well. So it was just playground sand, the typical cheap stuff that you find at your big box stores. Nothing special. But it helps loosen that soil up a little bit. But yeah, I went through, I planted some zucchini, spaghetti squash, crookneck. What else did I do? I think that was it for those. I planted some peas and got some other stuff going for the fall crop. I still have a couple empty beds. Not sure what I'm going to do, but I am going to be planting broccoli. Broccoli takes a lot of room, so maybe two beds like this. That'll be 6 heads of broccoli. It's not a whole lot, but maybe I could dedicate 2 beds of broccoli for the fall time harvest. Really anything that comes up, but I'm probably going to fill up one of those trays. It's like a 34 pod tray. But at the same time, I also got some 6-packs that are 2-inch. You know, they're the next step up from the little ones that I got. So we got them ordering. I think I'm going to wait until then to go ahead and plant these. I haven't had a whole lot of luck planting broccoli yet, but I'm going to get those started, and that's going to bring me into the winter a little bit, as well as getting out there and getting some spinach in the ground. That's another bed that really needs amended. It just looks dry and tired, to be honest. It just looks like that plant someone had hanging on their front porch 10 years ago and forgot about it 9.5 years ago, and that's what the soil looks like. So that needs a lot of help. I did put a little compost in it a couple years ago, you know, but yeah, that's going to need help. But I am going to try to grow some spinach in that bed. It's been an issue so far. I haven't had a lot of luck. About half of it does good, half of it doesn't. So yeah, it probably needs amendments and all that kind of stuff. Maybe one day, you know, I got to get a couple different cups going, because what you got to do with the soil test is put it in a cup, shake it up, mix it up with 5 parts water to 1 part soil, and then let it set overnight or a day or something like that, and let all that sediment go down so you get as clear water as you possibly can. And that's to use for these. So I might do that with some of the raised beds, but I got a lot of amending to do, I know for a fact. I would like to do a video, hopefully shortly here. My gardening videos don't do very well, but it is what it is. It's a little bit for myself as well, like I always say. But I would like to kind of go through and just talk about some of the things I learned doing the garden completely different this year. Some pros, some cons, different things like that. But as now, I just wanted to kind of wrap this video up. I didn't get a whole lot in when I was in the garden. It died pretty fast. So I just wanted to talk about some of the things that I was doing. Fertilizer, I did 0-46-60. Very strong phosphorus and potassium. The nitrogen, I believe just by the way everything grew, is very high. And that's another thing too, is I haven't really been too hot on doing these soil tests. The plants are telling me what it needs. I don't have to worry that much about it. I'm getting the blossom end rot. I'm getting blossom end rot on 1-2 pepper beds. So I got 2 full beds there that I'm getting it. And random tomatoes, I'm getting it on the San Marzanos. The beefsteaks are good. The beefsteaks, I don't know if they were Fairy Morris or an heirloom variety or anything like that, but they're doing good. My little round slicer tomatoes, the orange tomatoes, they're doing really good. But I do have a few that are getting the blossom end rot. So that is a sign of needing some potash. I believe that's potash. And yeah, and apparently mine is very, very low. But my plants are telling me as well. This is just an extra confirmation to say, yes, your plants are correct for telling you that blossom end rot is happening and you need to take care of that situation. So as I do things the hard way, I am trying to learn what my plants are trying to tell me more than just these kind of things I don't trust completely. There's a lot of variables that come into play and stuff like that. So it might tell me I need nitrogen when my plants are not telling me I need nitrogen. And if that's the case, I'm going to listen to the plant. So just knowing that, I'm going to do it the hard way and try to learn to see what my plants are telling me. But I did want to do this. I just wanted to kind of see where I was sitting, especially on the nitrogen. But yeah, nitrogen is supposed to be purple, and that is not purple. It could be so high that it's just off the scales. That could be very possible. Yeah, I'm not sure. This is clearly green. I mean, come on. That is supposed to be, let's do this. There you go. Yes, that is supposed to be purple or blue. It's supposed to be blue, which is actually kind of purple on the list for the comparison. That's green. That's green. So if that is green, I have extremely acidic soil. I'm sitting at about a 7.5 according to this, and it matches up absolutely perfect. I mean, look at that top. Yeah, that's a pretty good match up there. So I think that's actually what it is. I need to go through and I need to get new bags of these. They can't be that expensive. I don't even know what it is, if it's an acid or something. And then get a little bit better test. This stuff is old, it's not very reliable, and it's not even turning the right color. So it is confirming a little bit of what I was thinking. But yeah, working on the fall garden, getting some stuff in the ground, doing some succession planting, switching things out, getting some squash where the onions were, and trying to learn that whole deal, but trying to get set up mostly for fall production, getting some food on the table, getting some free food on the table, and yeah. So anyway, I will leave it with that. I know this was kind of an all-around kind of video, bouncing around, chops, cuts, all that kind of stuff. I apologize about that. It'll be better next time, I promise. And get your worm castings. Look how dark and rich that is. Yeah, I need to get a lot of that in there too. Anyway, I will talk to you guys next time. Peace. That's what me round. Work many miles, let it go round.